Thanks for staying with us. I'm Bill O'Reilly in the Middle of Time segment tonight. D-Man is present here in New York City, witnessing the carnage from Hurricane Sandy firsthand. Here he is. So you flew in just to lend us moral support here from Santa Barbara, California. No Hurricane Sandy out there. You guys, you know you're going to fall into the ocean on the earthquake. That's just a matter of when.
Eventually, sure.
Right. So what are your impressions on the storm?
Well, first off, you know, the power went out, and if I'd been any more in the dark, I would have been Joe Biden. So it...
there you go. Ba-boom, bum. There you go.
I had to put the shot in.
Yeah.
A couple of serious things, though, about the storm, Bill, that I noticed. When Bloomberg comes out and says, stay away from here, I got problems. I hope people are noting this is exactly what Nagin should have said with Katrina way years ago. They have used the ploy against Bush and Republicans that they're heartless about people in trouble. And Bush always said, hey, I was told not to come in there, that they didn't need the gridlock.
Absolutely.
Well, this proves it. But then if you think...
Well, just let me set it up that Bloomberg told President Obama and Dennis Miller not to come to New York. Miller defied him, but the president did not, because the president's doing the Lombardo with Chris Christie over in Jersey.
Well, I saw that, and that's fine if Chris wants him out there. But in a heavily populated metropolitan area, they both start with New Orleans or New York. The one that Mayor Nagin was hiding out in the penthouse trying to stay soft during that whole thing.
Because you couldn't freeze traffic zones because traffic isn't moving.
Yes.
2.5 hours to go 22 miles today for me. And how about you?
I was 10 blocks away, Billy, and I gave up after 40 minutes and just walked over.
You can't go anywhere because the subways are out.
Just remember that, folks. Next time they tell you that they're heartless and Bush was heartless, they don't want the president in a major area, and good for Bloomberg for saying it.
Now, do you think that the hurricane is going to have any influence on the presidential vote next week?
No, but I would watch West Virginia. You know, they often say that Obama looks Kennedy-esque. I don't usually agree with that, but he might look like Joe Kennedy in West Virginia, because if they can game that vote down there in that snowstorm, they'll game it.
They're not going to do it. I think Romney's ahead by like 15.
I know it's cold country, but I saw 3 feet of snow in Beckley. I said there's going to be some weird balloting coming in out of West Virginia this time.
So how do you see it? Is there any change? Because we go week by week with Miller. And by the way, you'll be on next Wednesday, the day after. Yeah. And of course, apropos, you're here on Halloween. But have you seen in the last week or so any change in the dynamic of the election?
You know what, Bill, I was looking at Obama and I was thinking, boy, how did he squander this political cachet? Because you have to admit, when he first came in, you've never seen a guy deified that more by the mainstream press.
He had a big advantage, absolutely.
And 53% of the country adored him, and a 70% approval rate. A scant 4 years later, people kind of...
Well, it's all the economy. The economy hasn't improved.
It's also one other thing. In my lifetime, and I'm 58 now, I've seen presidents. I haven't followed them all as closely. Kennedy, obviously, I was younger. I've only seen 2 that seemed to actively dislike half the population of the country. Nixon. I think of Nixon floating down the Potomac on that yacht with Bibi Rebozo and those fat cats making fun of kids and all the hippies and that. And I look at Barack Obama and I think, you know, I don't sense he likes half this country. And I think that's coming back to bite him in the tuchus.
You mean the guns religion crew?
Yeah,
that was an indicator?
Disparagement. Right. Joe the plumber doesn't make that. He doesn't have a pickup truck. There seems to be a real disassociation between him and the hoi polloi, as the classic term.
Do you think it has anything to do with grievance? Because in some African American communities, there is a grievance against whites who aren't sympathetic to their cause. And that may be driving a little bit of it. So there are some African Americans who believe that the reason they're not prospering as a community, all right, is because society hasn't done enough. And the reason society hasn't done enough is because of rich white guys.
No, I don't think of it like that with Obama. I think of him as one of those intelligentsia swells who looks down on people that he thinks aren't up to speed intellectually with him. So I don't get a color thing off him. I get a... I know that crowd. It's a pied-à-terre set where they sit around and they, you know, they have Jack Henry Abbott and Norman Mailer there. And
canopies.
Yeah,
canopies.
And all that stuff.
Right.
And they look down.
Have you ever had a canopy at your house?
I've never.
I don't even know what a canopy is.
A canopy to me is the thing you put over the picnic table when you have burgers. You put the canopy over the burgers.
So Halloween, do you frighten people when you walk out? I mean, you frighten a crew when you walked in here.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, I'm going out as Pelosi today.
Oh, my God.
Listen, I was watching the other night Bloomberg, and, you know, they're talking about taking away Halloween in certain things, in certain cities and suburbs
school
around the country.
districts, right.
It's part of the infantilization of America. I was watching Bloomberg speak about this storm the other night, and he actually had a woman next to him doing the sign language, and he says, if you see a live wire that's fallen from a power pole, do not pick it up if it's sparking. And the woman goes, woo! And I'm thinking,
do that again because we're on B-roll.
Woo!
Right.
What the
Don't
hell
do that.
happened to this country?
Right. And you
We've
know when she did
gotten
that,
soft.
she hit the mayor in the head and knocked him unconscious.
No, she hit him a few feet above the head. She had to go back down to hit him. See, Bloomberg wants to cut down the size of the candy bars because they're to scale.
That's
he
right.
gets those one-biters and they look regular.
In fact, in Mayor Bloomberg's Halloween,
yes,
right, you can only give one M&M, not the whole thing.
Mayor Bloomberg just lost the jump ball to an Abe Beam impersonator out on the street out here. That's how bad it is.
In New York, so you're both very petite men.
There you go.
All right, Dennis Miller, everybody will be back on Wednesday after the vote.